Hello boys and girls, just a quick video, like I said I was going to do earlier, reviewing last night's very entertaining game at the Emirates between Arsenal and Cologne. What an unbelievable night that was. It was entertaining, I must say, even though before the game I was a little bit apprehensive whether the game would go ahead. I mean, me and the missus, we got off at Arsenal, we had a little bite to eat, and there was German fans everywhere. I mean, it was like being in Cologne. It was just, they were everywhere. Very friendly. There was no tension in the air. You know, they were in great voice. They were singing. They were loud. They were brilliant. And I mean, we got to our block probably about 7 o'clock, 10 past 7ish, whatever time it was. And there was an actual great queue outside Block D. And it's very strange because normally there's not much of a queue really. You go straight in. And we queued up, and it was like, it's a bit strange. And we started speculating. Well, we heard that there's a problem. The game might be delayed or potentially called off or whatever. Very strange. And one of the stewards said, yeah, it's going to be delayed. And then we had an announcement, it's going to be delayed by an hour due to safety issues. And people were like, well, what's going on here? And of course, Chinese whispers saying that the German fans have broken into the stadium. They're in the away end, and the stewards fighting with them in the ground. So, okay. And yeah, someone said there was a riot in the ground. People started checking Twitter, and then there's a tweet by someone saying, "Is there a fight? We can't see any." And apparently there were a lot of German fans. Let's say 17,000 fans extra came over to watch the game. And I don't, you know, whether it's right or wrong. I mean, it's their first European away night in 25 years, so they were just excited. They were no problem at all. The girlfriend was a little bit apprehensive about it, but we got in eventually. About 7:45, maybe a little bit later than that. Maybe I can't remember. It was about 7:45, 8 o'clock, and we got in, and we could hear the Cologne fans in the ground. It was like, there's a lot of them, and you could see the German. I mean, in the North Bank, you could see there was German scarves and people speaking German. It was like, wow, this is going to be an interesting night. So we found our seat. Great view, as always, at the Emirates, and the Cologne fans were so loud. I mean, half hour before kick-off, they were just singing relentlessly, and it was brilliant. And then they scored in about the 8th minute, I think it was, that John Cordoba lobbed David Ospina. What he was doing, I have no idea. But when the ball went in, I kind of looked behind me, and there was probably about 7 to 10 Cologne fans celebrating, and you know, some Arsenal fans got up and was like, "What are you doing?" There wasn't really any violence really. It's just Arsenal fans kind of getting the ump, which, had I not been with the missus, I might have got the ump as well. But you know, Arsenal was going always 1, 2, 3, 4 of them, and the stewards, they were outnumbered. I mean, they didn't really know what to do, to be honest with you. And you know, the clock end was taken over by Cologne fans, and we could see them, the lower tier. The whole lower tier of the clock end pretty much took over. A lot of the upper tier, they took over, and it got a little bit airy. And it was all like, oh no, this is not going to be good. But I must say, the Cologne fans throughout the game, they were an absolute credit to away fans. They were just brilliant. They didn't stop singing throughout the whole game. I mean, at an Arsenal level, I mean, the first half we were absolutely appalling. We couldn't string 2 passes together, backwards and then side to side. It was like Ariana Grande, so that bad in the first half. Theo Walcott was absolutely awful. I don't get what he does. In my opinion, he's been at Arsenal for 10 years now, and the only thing he's done is grown a beard. He's just not good enough. And yeah, first half was awful. They got booed off, which is understandable. And the second half, a slight change in formation. Kolasinac came on for Rob Holding, and then within 3-4 minutes of the second half starting, Kolasinac bangs the ball into the top corner with a wonderful finish, and that was 1-1. And Arsenal on top after that. Alexis Sanchez scored a worldie, and I don't care. He's world class. Don't care. Probably, I'll say the best player in the league by a million miles. And people disagree with me, but he's world class. And even though he might be at Arsenal for only one more season, don't care. I'm going to enjoy it because the boy is just unbelievable. What a goal that was! If you haven't seen it, just check it out on YouTube or check it out somewhere because it's a worldie. And with the third goal by Bellerin, I actually missed it because we left a bit earlier just to get the train, just to make sure. Yeah, I got up my seat, walking down the stairs, and I heard a roar, and yeah, I missed it. I've only left twice before, and I've left twice, and I've missed 2 goals. So luckily, the first one was a 5-0 against Coventry in the League Cup about 3-4 years ago, and it was last night the other one when the game was already over. So not too bad. But yeah, it was a fantastic night. A little bit of a media overreaction because it wasn't that bad. You know, the Cologne fans were just fantastic, and there were no bother at all. They're just enjoying themselves. It's no different to when England go to a World Cup. You know, hundreds of thousands go over there. Most of them haven't got a ticket. They just go over there and enjoy themselves. So it's no real difference to that. A brilliant night, and Arsenal got the 3 points, which is the most important thing. So we move on to Sunday against Chelsea. It's going to be one of them games, I think. You know, we don't do very well at the moment at Stamford Bridge, so it's going to be interesting. But who knows? Keep the faith in all that. And this video is for Ross Davis, because I saw him yesterday. I haven't seen him in absolutely ages, and he asked me, "Where's Weekly Strike? I haven't seen it for ages." So this video is for you, mate. Enjoy it. Up the Arsenal. Keep the faith. Come on, you Gunners.